Hi friends, thank you for the wonderful response that you all have given me to the video series Disciplining the Mind. And let me apologize you for the delay in uploading the next video. Well, today let us begin with a question. The question is pretty simple. Are you reactive or proactive? Friends, everyone has choices of behavior in any given situation. Whether you are able to implement the right choice depends on whether you are proactive or reactive, isn't it? Well, let me tell you a story. When I was in my college, and a very dear friend of mine, and he fell in love with a girl. The affair continued for a couple of years, but then due to some family issues, the parents did not allow the marriage. What happened was the girl could easily overcome it, and she became proactive. And my poor friend, he got depressed. And he lost a couple of years of his life, of the prime time of his life, in depression. How could this happen? Well, initially what I thought was that my friend was more emotional than the girl. But now, when I know something called as internal representations, what I understand is they both were equally emotional. The girl could somehow by chance or by default, could manage her internal representations and move ahead in life. And my poor friend, by chance, by default, couldn't manage the internal representations, couldn't use the internal representations to his advantage, and he got depressed. Well, we'll talk about internal representations in a while, but before going ahead, let us understand the process. The process is pretty simple. Normally, we look at the process as two steps. There is a thought, which results in an emotion. Two steps. There is a thought. The thought can be of the past. It can be of the future. It can be of neither the past or the future. It can be something else entirely. But the thought converts into an emotion or a feeling. It's two steps. That's how we look at it. The only reason we are not able to understand and see the third step is because it happens so fast, within fraction of seconds. It goes so fast. The step in between the thoughts and the feelings or emotions. The second step, that is between the thought and the emotion, is internal representation, which goes outside our range of awareness. We are just unable to identify it. And it is this internal representation which determines whether we are proactive or reactive. So what is this internal representation? Friends, let us do a simple exercise to understand this. What I want you to do is think of a situation of past, a happy memory. Well, some people think of this happy memory in form of images, some things in form of words, either or. So if you thought of this memory in form of an image in the mind, an image on the mental screen, then friends, answer me the following questions. Was the image big or small? Was the image near or far? Was the image in color or black and white? What was the quality of the image? What was the sharpness or brightness of the image? These are different qualities of image, internal representations. For simple understanding, we will use the word quality of senses. These are the different qualities of the senses of sight or the image. Qualities of senses. Well, if you had thought of the same event in form of words, then friends, tell me what was the quality of senses in terms of how far was the sound coming from, which direction the sound was coming from, was the sound coming from inside or outside, what was the tone, what was the pitch, it was low pitch or high pitch, what was the volume was less, the volume was more. Well, these are internal representations, friends. And if I talk of internal representations as the structure of experience, this forms the structure of experience. Friends, let us understand structure from a different perspective. Well, water is called H2O, two parts of hydrogen, one part of oxygen. What if I remove one part of hydrogen out of it? Will it remain water? I change the structure. Now, these are two different gases. One is hydrogen, one is oxygen. The water is no longer in existence because I changed the structure. The same rule applies to the structure of experience, the internal representations. I'm going to make you do this to understand this, but just understand the facts, friends. The moment you change the internal representation, it means you are changing the structure of the experience. And as you change the structure of experience, the meaning of the experience changes. And now it's time for you to experience this. Well, friends, what I want you to do is think of experience of the past, a bad memory. Please don't get into an intense memory. That can be worked on later once you know how to work with it. Let's go with a bad memory. I want you to imagine it. Friends, what is the image that came up? Now it's about changing the different aspects of the image. It means changing the structure of experience. Well, is the image near or far? If it is near, fine. Once you have the image right in front of you, you get into the same feelings. But now, what if you start pushing the image further away? As the image goes away, it gets smaller as well. And as the image is getting smaller and getting further away, the emotions are settling down, isn't it? That's it. You change the internal representation, you change the structure of experience and the meaning, that is the emotional content, the emotional aspect associated with the event, changed. Isn't that simple? You can change the colors. You can make it black and white from colors and the intensity goes down. Isn't that easy to do, friends? Now if you have experienced the event in form of words, friends, identify if the words are coming from near or far away. If they are coming from near, it means the speaker is closer to you. Push the speaker further away and allow the sound to come from a distance and the emotional intensity changes. Use the volume knob on the speaker and turn down the volume and the emotional intensity will go down. Well, you're altering the structure. The moment you change the structure of experience, the meaning of the experience changes. Isn't that easy? But just by the way of knowing it, friends, nothing good can happen. It calls in for discipline, practice. Practice is the key, friends. You cannot become an experienced swimmer by knowing how to swim. You need to practice swimming the same way. You need to practice identifying the internal representation. How to do that? Simple. Before retiring for the day, spend 5 minutes watching what you did throughout the day on your mental screen. Create different images of different things that had happened during the day. Just try to identify the different internal representation. If something happened where you were actually motivated, what were the internal representations? If something happened where you were frustrated, identify the internal representations of frustration. If something happened in the day that you felt bad about, just identify the internal representations of how you feel bad. And if you practice this, you realize, friends, to feel bad, you use the same internal representations. To feel frustrated, you use the same internal representation. And to feel happy, you use the same internal representations. Start practicing seeing yourself. Start practicing identify the internal representation. Spend only 5 minutes a day. That's more than enough. Once you know this, you can start altering the internal representations and you actually become proactive. Isn't that easy? Practice is the key. Well, if you have liked the video, if you're liking the series, help me spread the knowledge. Help me spread the tools and techniques to people whom you know, to people in your circle, to people in your social media. Help people change their lives, help people discipline their minds so that they can enrich their own lives. Thank you.